Rough sleepers in Auckland CBD say there's nowhere for them to go if authorities move them on. The government's looking at such measures, but Christopher Luxon promised it won't be with nowhere to go. Adam Hollingworth reports.
There are very much two Aucklands. There's the one the government wants to promote with a shiny new CRL, convention centre, the destination. The Prime Minister today pushing our fine dining restaurants with stars in their eyes, in particular Michelin stars.
That's why Louise and I are absolutely delighted to announce today that for the very first time, New Zealand is welcoming Michelin Guide to our shores.
But the other version of Auckland includes the rough sleepers that the government wants to move on, somehow from the CBD.
It's a very clear message from Aucklanders. We have also that we need to make the city look better.
Mr. Luxon, we need to be housed, please. Otherwise, we're going to be housed in prison.
Andrew McClutchy is 58, was homeless before COVID for 5 years and is homeless again for 5 weeks after walking out of accommodation where he didn't feel safe. He fears the only way a clean-up will happen is if the police get heavy-handed.
They're going to make us move, they're going to trespass us first, and then they're going to arrest us.
McClutchy himself has held down jobs before and still does some work through the city mission, but he now sleeps rough near the wharf.
Where are we going to go? Okay. Are they going to find us a suitable accommodation straight away? Are they? But somewhere safe, where I feel safe. I don't feel threatened behind a locked door. Because when they had emergency housing, I walked out of 2 motels because they were dangerous.
But McClutchy reckons 100 of his friends sleep on Queen Street, and they also live in fear of violence.
They've been attacked. You know, more than one, more than 2, more than 3. People are walking around kicking old homeless people over for fun. Give them a good kicking, have a good laugh, take all this shit.
McClutchy accepts some of his friends are aggressive, but says it's only a small number. However, a Heart of the City business survey has concluded that businesses do suffer. But they don't want to see homeless people suffer either from a hasty solution.
There's a lot of great things happening here. We want to see the issues addressed so that we can really thrive, but actually that people who need help get that help.
Auckland City Mission says stats released a couple of months ago showed 800 people were sleeping rough, and that figure's since gone up. So the solution lies in finding up to 1,000 homes and appropriate support.
Any process that's about enforcement or punishment is 2 things. It's simply ineffective. It just doesn't work. And secondly, we know that behind every homeless statistic is actually a person, and that person deserves dignity, deserves a home, and deserves a support to stay within that home.
Government ministers were downplaying the proposal this afternoon.
There's been a lot of conjecture. There's been a lot of intel out there, especially amongst the journalist crew, about these allegations. However, we are looking at a range of initiatives. What I'm responsible for is supporting those that are rough sleeping and making sure community housing groups can help them.
My focus as Housing Minister is getting people into warm, dry houses.
Will you actually round them up and move them on? And where will you put them?
We're going to give... All options are on the table, but we haven't made decisions yet in this space.
No decisions yet, and the Prime Minister this morning indicated that no one will be left homeless as a result.
Can you give a commitment, a promise that no one will be moved on without somewhere to go?
That will be if we pursue that as an option, and again, as I said, all options are on the table, and we need to be able to get the advice from lots of different people who have different perspectives on what the issue and what the problem and challenge actually is. We obviously need to make sure that we've got care for people. Yeah.
So, no promise that rough sleepers won't be moved on, but a promise they will be cared for.